difficult for science to accept the idea that our ancestors were giants, but there are strong indications that in the distant past they actually walked the earth, for almost all mythologies and sacred books mention them. Of knowledge that in ancient times, roughly 10,000 years ago, cremation was a universal law. Moreover, a great part of the race of giants, according to the esoteric tradition, disappeared with the last Atlantean island called Poseidon. According to the Sumerian writings, Gilgamesh, one of the survivors of the Great Flood, was a colossal giant, 5.50 meters tall, 2.0 meters wide and weighed 2,844 kilograms. Their faces shone like the sun, and their eyes were like the burning light. And they lifted me up and led me to the first heaven, and they flew with their wings and turned around on all the planets. The old rulers paraded around me of the heavenly orders. In the New World, there is also talk of a race of giants from Tarija who lived on the eastern slopes of the Andes in Ecuador, and who fought against the gods and men. 3. V11, now Og king of Bashan was the last survivor of the Rephaim. His bed is the iron bed which is seen in Rabbah of the Ammonites, and he is 9 cubits long by 4 cubits of breadth. The Hebrew cube measures almost 48.4 centimeters, numbers 4 to 7, weighed 600 shekels of iron, approximately 60 kgs, its armor weighed 1,000 cycles of bronze, that is to say 100 kgs. Baruch's apocryphal book tells even the exact number of giants on earth, about 409,000 of them. Megalithic constructions scattered around the world are attributed to them, such as Baalbek quoted in the book I Kings of the Old Testament, where the Arab tradition reports that it was built soon after the Great Flood by the giants that survived. In fact, giant skeletons were actually found in all ages of mankind by archaeologists or even by chance, proving that they somehow actually walked the earth. Giant human footprints dated up to 250 million years old, measuring 59 x 18 centimeters, weighing 250 kilograms, found in Mount Victoria, United States, were investigated and discovered in 1930 by Drive Rex Guillory, director of the Mount York Natural History Museum. Several stone enclosures were considered to be the work of the 5 Pandavas, who themselves were considered giants, smaller than the Atlanteans, but considerably larger and more robust than what we have become today. Human skeletons measuring about 3 meters were discovered in southeastern China, and Dr. Pei Wencheng, a world-renowned paleontologist, dates back to 300,000 years ago, a time when many giant breeds still lived. Several cone-shaped tombs were discovered which most likely belonged to an extinct race that once occupied this region and left a vast necropolis formed of countless mounds scattered on the slopes of Clay County. Judge West, in the only open tomb, discovered the remains of 2 giant skeletons whose skull bones were monstrous in size, the jaw double that of a civilized person, and the jawbone indicated an uncommon muscular shape. 196. Writes that Tertullian certified that there were in his time a number of giants in Catargo, and that Philostratus himself observed a giant skeleton of 22 cubits on the promontory of Sijahu. Robert Charroux would have seen, in 1960, in the Museum Temple of Tiahuanaco, a series of skulls ranging from the Cro-Magnon type to the giant type that should measure 30 to 40 centimeters high. If we start from the normal stature and constitution of man, individuals who could handle such huge instruments should have had a height of approximately 4 meters. In a single tomb were found several artifacts and skeletons of giants measuring 2.10 meters, which had red hair up to the shoulders, as the records themselves indicate. Parallel to this, there are also many current reports of UFO sightings, associating their crew with giants, one of the most significant being the incident in the Russian city of Voronezh, 320 kilometers from Moscow, in September,